Hi guys, it's Lynn with Curiosity Crochet. Thanks for coming today. Today we're going to do another hat. This one we're going to do another big one big piece, like a couple of the other ones we did. I already have my big piece done, and I'll show you the stitch. Now I made mine pretty big because I'm going to fold a big portion of this up, and you have to have enough room on top to pull this in too. So mine's pretty big, but you can make yours however you want to. Now mine measures, let me see. Mine measures about 13 inches long. Now, like I said, you do not have to do it that long. You could probably do it between 9 and 10 inches long. You can use different yarn. I actually used Premier Puzzle with this one. So this one is a bulky. This one is a 5 weight. There is 328 yards in this. And this was already used a little bit, and I still have a bunch left. So I would say if you use this Puzzle Premier or Premier Puzzle, you could probably get 2 hats out of one skein, to be honest, because bulky weight goes farther than, like bulky and chunky, they go farther. And when you have a lot of yardage like that, it's perfect. So, oh, and this one recommended a 6mm, but I actually used a 6.5 because this stitch works a little tight. So whatever yarn you use, even if you use a 4 weight, I would say go one size bigger so that it doesn't squish, because it does work up pretty tightly. So my suggestion is whatever yarn you decide to use, or if you're going to use the same as me, even if it's a different kind but it's a bulky, I would say just go with one size bigger than it recommends. And like I said, 9 to 10 inches, or if you want to make it like me, mine's 13 inches long. So you'll just make your number of chains until it hits that length. These are a little bit easier to make because it's just back and forth, and you don't have to worry about the brim. You don't have to worry about it being different on top and bottom. It all kind of flows together. So you need one measurement, which is your length up and down, and then one measurement for your diameter, which is going to be how many rows you do. Now, I brought mine to about 18.5 inches. Now, I always tell you the measurements, so I'm going to tell you again just in case there's anybody new. I always say between 18 and 20 inches is pretty average. And that's for the diameter of the head. So, like if you're working in the round, you're still making a chain. So I always, the diameter is what's going to be around the head. So 18.5 to 20 is the measurement around the head. And I usually do the measurement around the ears and like the fattest part of the back of the head where it sticks out the most. So that's your diameter. That's where you get that measurement. And if it's a bigger head, I would say 20 to 22 inches. For preteens, teens, you could do 17 inches. For smaller kids, say I don't make a whole lot of kids hats, but I think for like toddlers, you're doing 14 to 16, and for babies, I think it's 13 to 14. But don't quote me on the kids ones because I'm not particularly sure. I don't make a whole lot of kids hats. I make adult hats for the most part. I could find out the measurements before my next video and let you guys know for sure. If you'd like me to do that, leave it in the comments and I will do that for you guys. So anyways, my big piece is already made. And like I said, on that one I used a 6.5. I'm just going to show you the stitch on a different yarn. I'm just using my Premier Just yarn, my cheapy stuff. And I'm just going to use, I got these new hooks. They're furls again. See, now this time you can see it. The company is called Furls Crochet. And they have different kinds. Now, they have an Odyssey kind that is really heavy. I didn't like that one. And then they have, this is wood. And then those red ones I have are like polymer plastic kind of. It's hard to describe. And I don't want you guys to think I'm getting anything out of this. I just like sharing with you what I got. And I really like these. These and the red ones that I had in another video. They're called Streamline. And they have wood, or they have a bunch of colors. So wood, they have different colors. And then like the red one I have, they have all different colors. So you should check it out, because these aren't terribly too expensive and they're comfortable in your hand. You'll like them. Okay, so, and then as always, don't forget to have your tape measure so that you can measure have the measurements properly, and your scissors and your tapestry needle for putting it all together and finishing off your work. So this stitch works in a multiple of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever amount you need to get to the length of however tall you want it to be, because this is going to be how tall it is. And then the length, the diameter will be how many rows you do. So like I said, mine was 13. You can do it 8 or 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's up to you. If you're using a bulkier yarn like mine, it's the same, because between 4 and 5 weights are very similar to me. So just, make as many chains as you think, and then keep measuring it till it gets where you would like it to be. So I'm just going to do 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. Now this is super easy. You guys are going to like this, because it's going to be one of those stitches where you can just go and you go back and forth and then you're done before you know it. So we're actually going to skip the first 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the 4th stitch, we're going to yarn over and we're going to go in there and pull up a loop. And then in the next stitch, we're going to go in without yarning over and pull up a loop. Now you're going to yarn over and just pull through that first loop, and then you're going to pull through the rest of the 4 loops. And it gives you this cool little design. Now what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and we're going to go back into the same stitch that we just worked. So not the next one, but the one we just worked into. And we're going to go in and pull up a loop. Then we're going to go to the next stitch, go in without yarning over, pull up a loop. Pull through the first one, pull through the rest of the other 4. Let's do that one more time. You're going to yarn over, go in the same stitch you just worked, pull up a loop. Without yarning over, go into the next one, pull up a loop, pull through the first loop, pull through the rest, the last 4. Yarn over, go back into that stitch you just worked. Without yarning over, go into the next one, pull up a loop, go through the first, yarn over, go through the first loop, yarn over, pull through the last 4. Okay? Let's finish up this row together. Same stitch, without yarning over, go into the next, pull through 1, pull through the rest. I told you this one's really easy. We'll get to the end of the row here so I can show you where we go next. And it's a 1 row repeat. So this is what you're going to repeat. I just want to show you where we're going to go from here. So now when you get to the end, you're going to chain 3 and you're going to turn your work. Now what we're going to do is, here's your first stitch. Here's the bottom of that chain 3 over here on the side. We're going to yarn over and we're going to start in the bottom of the chain 3. So we're going to go in this hole and pull up a loop. Then we're going to go into this stitch without yarning over and pull up a loop. And we're going to pull through the first, yarn over, pull through the last 4. And then we're going to do the stitch all over again, all the way down. And that's what we're going to repeat back and forth. So yarn over, same stitch. Without yarning over, go into the next, pull up a loop, pull through 1, pull through 4. Yarn over, go into the same stitch. Without yarning over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 4. And then you just keep repeating that. We'll get to the end of this row so I can show you. Because you got that chain 3 at the end of each row. And I want to show you what we're going to do with that. So once you come down here to the end now, you're still going to yarn over and go into that same stitch. But now what we're going to do for the one we don't yarn over is we're going to go into the top of that chain 3 right here at the very top of the chain 3. And we're going to grab that loop and we're still going to do the same thing. Pull through 1, pull through all 4. And then you're always going to chain 3 and you're always going to just keep repeating the same thing. So you're going to go into the bottom of that chain 3, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, go through 1, go through all 4. And that's what you're going to repeat over and over. And just make sure you don't forget about your chain 3 at the end of each row. And that's it. That's all you have to repeat over and over again. So go ahead and get as many rows as you need for the diameter of the head. And then we will meet back up and we will put this hat together. So I'm stuck on my stitch. But then you get this cool looking pattern where there's like a line going up. I don't even know what to name this yet, but I thought it looked really cool. And it is reversible, so you could always make the hat reversible. You know, when you give it to someone or if you're selling it, you can tell them it's reversible. So go ahead and repeat that and get your rows done, and then we'll meet back up and we will put the hat together. Okay, once you have all your rows done, and you'll notice there's a little bit of a ridge between each row. Like it turns out really nice. I think this is so pretty. But once you have all your rows done and you're ready to attach, what we're going to do is make sure you have it facing where your hook is over here on your right side. And we're going to fold it in half. We're going to bring the edges together. We're going to make sure this isn't all twisted up like mine. We're going to still chain 1. Well, we're going to chain 1, not 3 this time. And we are going to go into this very first stitch here. Let me move this over a little bit. We're going to go into this first stitch here on this side. And we're going to find the first stitch on this side. And we're going to go through there. We're going to pull a loop through and we're going to slip stitch. We're going to repeat that all the way down. So you're going to go into this next stitch, find the next stitch on the opposite side, and we're going to slip stitch. You just want to match it up nice. So go in the next stitch, find the next one on the other side, and slip stitch. So that's what we're going to do all the way down. We're going to go in on each side and slip stitch it. And just make sure you're keeping, you know, it pretty matched up. Never has to be perfect. Little mistakes in your work give a little character. That's what I always say. So if it's not perfect, don't get upset, because sometimes it takes a while to get perfect. Because I'll tell you what, when I'm slip stitching down, sometimes I still make mistakes and it doesn't match up. So, and when you do this, you're gonna notice, because we did those chain 3s, there's gonna be a little bit of a stick out here where it kind of V's, and I'll show you how we can fix that when we get done, so that it doesn't look odd at the end there. But go ahead and slip stitch your way all the way down, and we will meet back up and go from there. Okay, when you come down here to the end, I just wanted to show you this. You have 2 chain 3s basically. So go into the middle of those chains, like so, into the second chain on each side, and slip stitch those together so that it brings that end together nicely. So then it gives you a nice clean edge. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put this top together a little bit different, because that's how we're going to make this, you know, look a little nicer. Because see, this edge, if you look, this edge is nice and clean. Now you can always, if you don't want it to be ridgy and bumpy like this, you can always do like a row or 2 of single crochet around it, so that it gives it a nice clean edge. That's an option for you. You don't have to, but you could always single crochet this together too. It comes out kind of the same, but a little bulkier. So those are some options for you too. But we're going to cut off here. We're going to make that nice. And then we're going to come around to up here. Now, we are going to cinch this side, like I said, instead of this side, because that's a cleaner edge. So, turn it, and we're going to cinch it this way, and then we're going to flip it inside out. So, get your yarn, and we are going to sew this together. Now, if anybody watches me, if this isn't your first time here, you know that I do not like big holes. But with these kind of hats, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can either start your yarn again up here and start with single crochet and then decrease it down and then cinch it, because I've done that before too. But because I've made this so long already, I don't want to add any more length to it. So that's another option for you for this hat. But today I'm just going to cinch it together, you know, with the big hole. So we're going to just start up here, like by the seam here. We're going to go in one of the rows and come around it. And then pull enough string that you've got something to work with, because we got to get all the way around. And then don't go back in where we came out. Jump to like the next area. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of go in and out around the top of the rows. So wherever you can find a spot to go in and out. And you don't really want to go around like one of these little, because that can pull. So make sure you got enough going around there. We're going to jump over here. So that's what I want you to do now, is either way I told you you could cinch up the top. That's what I want you to do. I want you to cinch up, well, get around with either way you're doing it. And then we'll meet back up and I'll show you my, how I close it completely up, okay? I'll meet you back. Okay, once you come back around, now if you did it like I did it, you're going to want to pull both strings, or else it's just going to keep pulling around and around. And as always, I kept way too much yarn. But you pull both strings. Now I know there's not supposed to be knots in crochet, but I tie a knot here so that it's not going to keep pulling. And I pulled way too much yarn. My end is getting caught in here. So pull it nice and tight and then bring that knot down so that it doesn't keep pulling. And then we're gonna go, don't pull it so tight that the yarn breaks, but then we're gonna pull this together this way. We're gonna go across one way, and I have a ton of yarn pulled out. And then we're going to go across the opposite way. Let me make sure I'm in shot here. We're going to go across the opposite way. And just keep pulling it tight and it'll pull it together nice. And then go across the opposite way again. Pull that nice and tight. And then I am going to make another knot here. And this is the inside of the hat, so it doesn't make that, you know, having a knot there is not going to be a big deal. But when I cinch up a huge hole like this, I like to make sure it's not going anywhere. So then I'm actually going to cut some of this off before I sew in all my ends, because that would just be a pain. So then, and then this side too that you brought it in with, just leave yourself a little something to sew in the ends. So then you're going to go around and sew in any ends that you have left. We're going to flip it inside out, and let me show you that top. See, it's nice and closed up, no worries there. And then I'm going to give this a fold up here, and I made it so that it would have a nice big cuff. And there you have it, your nice little winter hat. I think it turned out very nice, and these colors are gorgeous. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed this hat. I hope it was nice and easy for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will keep putting out as many videos as I can. I keep saying I want to try something different, but I don't know what to try next that you guys might like. So I would still like some comments if you have any suggestions on anything else you'd like me to do. If not, I think I'm just going to start throwing some stuff out there and see what happens. But I still ask if you'd want to come to Facebook, Curiosity Crochet, same name, so I can see the hats you're making. I'd love for you guys to share them with us so I can see how your project turned out. If you use different yarn or if you use different colors, I would love to see your hats. So thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.